We are live. So we're doing two different live podcasts today, guys. First off, Kevin, Life22, in case you didn't know. Otherwise, why the hell would you be subscribing, right? You're watching our show. So here at Quinn'sWake Coffee House, best cup of coffee in town, hands down. We keep getting people rolling in through the front door telling us like they've tried a bunch of other places and
it's true.
The best. So.
Yeah, it is.
But regardless, best kept secret here. So this morning I got Tim on the podcast. It's a normal Tuesday.
Yep.
It's Tuesday, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Monday was rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've got our 360 Rise with us. So we're doing our standard podcast, and then what we're doing is because we found that we've got. I don't want to go into podcast. I'd rather put up a bunch of like test videos and garbage videos until we hone it down,
sure.
Than waste a podcast. Like
Gotcha.
You do a whole hour podcast, and then all of a sudden like
I'll take your word for it.
You're shitbird, you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Yeah, like, oh man, I had to throw the footage out because there's no sound. You know what I mean? Like something like that. I've done that before, and it's just a horrible feeling. You're like, you rope somebody in, you talk to them, you have good conversation, and then you just like delete.
Can't use any of it.
Shit. So, but this morning we got a regular podcast, plus we're doing the local podcast to the 360 Rise 360 Penguin. It's rendering everything in 3D, and I'll show you that a little bit later, Tim.
It does look like a penguin, huh?
Yeah.
No, you mentioned it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's recording to its SD card to its local device, and so we'll do our podcast right on there. Actually, while we're waiting, I probably should plug this thing in, just so it has a battery pack or something. Oh,
screwed up again.
I know, right? But yeah, while it's doing that, so we're broadcasting both normal, so that our viewers have us right now live while they're driving to work and can handle it, and then one for later for anybody who wants to like watch your or my shimmering magical faces.
Right.
So
I'm sure they can't get enough of.
Right.
The beer really filled in nice. So you just went straight on through.
Straight on through to December.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You can. There we go. That light just changed from blue to green.
It's green. Yeah.
Sweet. That means it's taking battery. Sweet. So now that won't run out. Hopefully it doesn't run out of space. I got 32 gigs in there. That should be enough.
Is that a lot?
Like 7 minutes is like 3 gigs of space. So we should make it just through the podcast, and I think it'll be full.
Right. Okay.
So, but yeah, that does take up a lot of space. I'm gonna have to up my hard drives.
Okay.
But if this is the wave of the future, man, we're gonna start doing everything in 360.
Nice.
At least testing it out, because like our podcast right now, I think is fine. You know what I mean? You watch like Joe Rogan, you watch any of the other podcasts that are out there.
Is that what he uses?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
No.
What I'm saying is like you watch them and they're fine right now, right?
Yeah.
But
it's
like
a great podcast.
A guy like Joe Rogan, that's actually one of the people I was going to approach about this and be like, hey, man, check this thing out, and do a couple podcasts in 360. And I mean, because that just changes the whole face of the game. Like,
is there a more popular podcast than his? I don't know. Yeah,
I think it's just like
huge.
Like who's bigger, Fox News or CNN? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like what are droves of people?
Well, he's pretty universal. You know what I mean?
He is.
He's not. He's. I wouldn't call him middle of the road, or but he's a great interview. He's a great interviewer.
Right. Yeah. Because he doesn't just go out and attack you and have his own.
Right. He doesn't seem to have many enemies. You know what I mean? So he's pretty universal.
You know what? I've had experience in that in the past, and I don't agree with that.
Sure. Yeah.
Or
he's very cordial like
like no, I know nothing about flying lizards. Like tell me all about it. Like
anxious to hear.
Fire away.
Exactly.
Like I'm open-minded.
Like you know what I mean? But
no, did you see these in real life, or are you on drugs when you see these?
Yeah.
Like
that's great questions. Yeah. So if you're in the game, you should aspire to be more like him. For sure.
Definitely. So, and I think that this camera would actually do his podcast wonders, and I just, you know what I mean? I think this is groundbreaking technology right here. This is like wave
of the future.
Yeah, and all happening here and only in New York, man. 360 Rise is right down in front of Walsh.
Is that right?
Yeah,
no
on
kidding.
West State Street. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, kind of across from Tops.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah,
but isn't that a dentist?
Right next to the dentist.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's a Doherty, right?
Yeah, Barkley. Yeah,
Barkley. Is he related to you?
No relation. He spells it different too. Pronounces it the same way as the D-O-U-G-H, but he spells it the D-A-O-U-G-H, which is the Doherty spelling.
The what now?
Doherty.
Doherty.
Yeah, a lot of people pronounce it Doherty. If you got the A.
Really?
The original spelling of the name didn't have it had an O, but it was like D-O-C-H-T-A-I-G-H. So it was like Doherty. And the CH makes the
Gaelic influence.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, good to know. Yeah, well, that's cool. It started right here.
Yeah. 360,
Not much happens here, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and they're assembled right here in Olean, so
cool.
Little warehouse. No kids. You know what I mean? No kids putting them together.
Yeah,
Grown adults with health care.
Yeah. Yeah, well, if you're going to go global, you're going to need a good, productive sweatshop, right? So, if you really want to make the ends meet, keep the shareholders happy.
Thailand's good.
Sure. Why can't we do it here? Plenty kids aren't doing anything,
Yeah, right.
Purpose.
If you're on 360, you can probably if you're looking at the 360 video of this later, you could probably see Miley's feet. She decided to come down and she's supposed to be reading right now for school. Yeah. Oh, she's checking her Facebook.
Right. For school.
Yeah, for school. Yeah. She's got to check for updates, make sure it's not snow day or something.
Yeah. Well, their social lives are the most important thing to them.
Yeah.
So what happened yesterday? So you had a pretty full day yesterday?
Yeah.
Any drama?
What's that?
Any drama fighting the man?
Any drama? No.
I'm gonna move over because the penguin's right in my way.
Oh, sorry. You know what? Now I forget what my day entailed yesterday. Oh, I installed the dishwasher.
That's it?
Yeah, but I was just kind of coming down off of like the weekend. Like a lot of just and then like last night, just like kind of arranging stuff for today to happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
getting organized.
Yeah, I got to run a half shift down here at the shop today, and like trying to. No, she's got a doctor's appointment, so I'm just trying to like, all right, I got to run this half shift. She'll be here for the first part, and then got the podcast. Got another podcast at 12:30.
Right.
I want to actually
announce the guest, the special guest for.
Yeah, for those of you who might know the special guest this afternoon, he is the Mongoloid known as Lucas Winky. He likes that term. He's very excited. Actually, he's going to talk about that term.
Thick skin. Huh?
His family lineage this afternoon. So.
The Winkies?
The Winkies.
There's got to be 50 Winkies in Olean.
Yeah, but like his delineation, like you have horse breeding stock. You got like the good one, and then all of a sudden there's that like the ugly duckling stock.
Right.
Like it spawns off of that one, but like no one has that.
He's the copy of a copy.
Yeah,
right? It's not quite as sharp.
Right. Nobody had him. Yeah, nobody had the heart to like just kind of like, all right, ugly duckling, you go off and be a swan over there.
Nobody told him.
Yeah. So he's still like, where's the coat of arms, the lion? And he's kind of like a kitten. He's the kitten. He's just round like, yeah, you get him, tiger.
Now, what is his role in town? What is
He's a pizza delivery boy.
Pizza's pretty good.
Kevin. It is pretty good.
Pizza.
It is. It's good.
Now he has
a job. He owns a house.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's better than a lot of the people around here.
Yeah.
I seem to. I don't know what they seem to be. They seem to be shipping them in from every other dump.
Oh, the jobs.
The
the people that don't have
jobs and the eaters and the the burdens on society seem to all congregate here.
Oh, yeah.
So. We get to live with them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's nothing like drinking my coffee in the morning and see two weirdos having an argument with the wind outside, outside on the sidewalk.
And then they come in.
At nobody.
Then they come in to run their food stamp card to buy coffee.
Yeah, or complain.
My food stamp card doesn't work today.
Yeah. Exactly.
They. I'm sorry. Bring us you're tired, you're hungry.
Yeah, no,
and you're unwilling.
No, stop bringing. Yeah, stop.
And you're unwilling to work.
Yeah, ship them out in the middle of the ocean, please.
You know what's funny is that a lot of people one of the biggest issues is that we're trying to discern people like, hey, we're full, right? Like, we don't want people from other countries because we're full. We've got enough.
Let's start here. Let's start with Olean.
But we've got to fix. But we've got to fix, like, the people that are coming here are looking for work and opportunity.
Here?
To America. To America in general.
Not anymore,
right?
They're not.
There's a lot of people that are coming here for...
But yeah, there's a lot more that are just coming out for the handouts because they come from socialist shitholes. So
but all the people that are not working and have no work ethic in this country are like, seventh generation.
We should trade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'll take 100,000 hardworking Central Americans,
Mexicans.
Yeah. For 1 million of our, useless trash that we have here, welfare.
Right.
Wellies,
or we'll just pay to get rid of them.
That live like animals. Yeah. Like, no, we'll trade them. You know what I mean? Like, just go down there. You can see how it really, how bad it could really be.
We can give them their own country.
Sure.
Like Leper Island. You know what I mean?
Stand or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Their flag is like a big, hairy stomach being scratched by a hand. Maybe pull a piece of lint out.
Yeah, no, just put like a dirty wife beater on a stick. You know what I mean? With spaghetti stains and shit on it. That's your flag, Welly, for Welly stand. Get out of our country.
It's Welly stand.
Right, yeah. Send the hard workers up here, and we'll trade you this garbage.
No, we'll give you a year's supply of what are they, ramen?
Don't give them anything.
You give me your supply of ramen? No, because you can't just trade hardworking. You can't trade.
First of all, the wellies in this country are enormously obese, disgustingly obese. They could live off a year just on their fat reserves.
True. True.
They'll figure it out. If you can't figure it out in a year off your fat reserves, welly, then who cares?
Right.
As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. You just coax them into a big horse trailer.
just throw something free across the border. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you can
iPhone.
If you can waddle over there, you can have it, and then slam the gate. We'll take it.
Emerald City. I'm getting the image of the little guy with the ginger mustache. Who goes there?
Oh, the great powerful Oz.
Yeah, but not the Oz. The guy who answers the door with his big green hat. Emerald City. Who goes there? Fucking purple horses and shit.
I've seen since I was a kid. Yeah.
It's just that guy shutting the door as you get locked into Iswella stand.
Yeah, you need somebody heartless.
I don't think you should take him outside of make him. What's like a border state that you can just kind of annex from the nation?
So
California?
We don't need New England,
That butts up to another.
From New England. That
butts up to another country like Maine. Take Maine and then just put the gate there and say Maine is now Iswellistan and sorry Maine. Not really to discriminate, it's just more on geographical location that we're loading all these people over to your state, putting the border up. And then this way, if the wellies overflow, they flow into Canada, and then they're Canada's problem.
Yeah, Canada can have them.
Yeah, just Maine butts up against...
They're a bunch of bleeding hearts anyway. You take care of them now.
Yeah, Maine butts up against Canada, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't know if it was Florida.
I'm trying to think about
fall off.
I would happily give them... Right here, you guys like it here. I mean, I would happily migrate to a warmer climate if they made them stay here.
I'm making my stand, man. Zombie apocalypse. You know what I mean? This is kind of it. We've got The Walking Dead right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll give them the Great Lakes. They can have that as their water supply. And give them from the tip of Maine to Lake Erie.
Me and the newborn watched Van Wilder the other day. So now I'm thinking maybe we get them more of a seaward place, like you say, the Great Lakes. Because in the movie they get the big fat kid that jumps in the water and they make the Shamu sounds I think water would be perfect for it.
Yeah, absolutely. The fresh water to take care of the smell. But
water stinks too, bro. You ever not flush a toilet?
Maybe on an accident or I was really drunk, but I would say if we are going to separate as a nation, it shouldn't be by race. It should be by those who do and those who don't.
Yeah, not even economical standpoint. Like you don't make a lot. You can be
I,
poor and hardworking. It should be like
absolutely,
working standard. Yeah, right.
There's a lot of people that come home stinking high heaven, or they work hard.
Yeah.
So, but I'm
Bloody
talking
hands.
about the exactly. Yeah. I'm talking about the people who don't do anything and expect it, and then the first
I took a shower this morning, and then I still ended up getting ash and soot on myself because we have a wood burning stove at the house. You know what I mean? Like, hey, gotta start the fire, gotta keep the family warm.
Right. Yeah.
Most other people are like, thermostat brokey, call landlord.
Yeah, complain. Yeah.
Good. You know how many apartments I go into that need a thermostat like switched out because like it had like a wire loose in the back, but somebody hit it with a hammer because they thought that was how you fix a thermostat. Like,
how do you? Isn't that? What do you do?
You tighten the wire up in the back.
I'd scream at it, yell at it, call it names, and it never heats up.
Imagine if all these, if you don't have a job, you actually have to install a wood burning boiler in your home.
Yeah.
because now it's like, well, shit. Before they thought they couldn't go to work. Now they have so much extra energy because they're actually out like expending it. Like that's the people that work out. Yeah. Like work way longer days, because they're doing something.
It's the first rule of one of the rules. If a body in motion tends to stay in motion, so if you have a sedentary lifestyle, it kind of permeates through everything.
Yeah.
If you sit there all day, you're probably going to just go home and sit around all day. But if you have a physical job,
right. So if all these people that don't have jobs are actually splitting wood in the morning and loading the fireplace and all that other stuff and keeping their family warm that way, I think, and then during the spring and fall and summer, they're splitting and stacking wood and preparing for winter. I think that would actually, corrective problem here. Look at that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you remember the old, was it 40 Acres and a Mule? I can't remember the 40 Acres and a Mule. I think it was like the freed slaves. That was their deal. It was like once they were freed, that was the government. They gave them 40 acres and a mule or something like that to work the land. They're going to be yeoman farmers.
Right.
Just like,
here's your teach a man to fish kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly,
I see the logic behind it. Did it pan out though?
Well, I think we had a black president. Christ's sake. I mean.
Well, no, I didn't know. Like sharecropping was like right in the tubes. You know what I mean? Like. They were like, yeah, you can't be slaves, but we'll let you work for a percentage of the thing. And then it was just like, then you had some educated people that were just taking advantage of people that didn't have an education on like math. Right, yeah.
And
then you like,
well, yeah, social change is a glacial pace. You know what I mean? Right. So. But for people like that, like make them earn it.
Yeah, so to do a glacial change of turning a population of what, like 60% of our population is like lazy good for nothings.
Sure. These are way easier than they did back then.
Yeah.
They
had to work. You couldn't dial a thermostat and say, please.
Plus, you had to get out of that mindset, of being oppressed. You know what I mean? These people have everything handed to them, and they still can't get it done.
Yeah.
Give them a blank patch of land and tell them to figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm tired of pouring money into you month after month after month, and you pump out another kid, and you got another problem, and you got more medical issues. They expect it just to be handled by some magic pile of endless money. It's ridiculous. Hey, I just bought the missus a new car, and this is not a true story, but I'm saying like you buy the missus a new car, but it's not a new car. It's just something to get her to work, so it's a beater. Sure. You just keep dumping money to it. Right. Now take that mentality and imagine that. Like your typical welfare recipient is an old beater car. Yo, son, my tires are bald. Yo, I'm gonna be a grinding bitch noise until you fix me. Right.
Fix me. Well, no, don't touch my computer system.
Right.
That's up here. You fix the broken axles and the tires and.
Yeah, I know.
I need more gas. I need more gas.
I mean. But when a regular person would have to sell something to get the car fixed,
right?
It's like, why don't they take the $10,000 in earned income, whatever thievery that they get, and get their life in order. I mean, $10,000 in extra free money every single year, or whatever you guys get for kids.
Yeah,
that's plenty.
That's plenty. People recently.
That's all you should get. Kids should be taxed.
There's a spur of people bitching in Olean that the rental prices are going up. called supply and demand. It's called
Right.
scarcity.
Yeah.
They just imported like 2,000 more welfare recipients, like from other counties. Like they track all this stuff through like Department of Social Services, and like they've got beacons out there. So like when they start to run out of funding in one, they say, we won't be able to help you until next month, but you can go to this place because this is their current status.
Okay.
And they give them a ticket, or like they give them like a business card, like go to Cat County Social Services.
Okay, I have a question on behalf of all of the normal working citizens of this town. Who sent them here? What's the name of the person who directs that? What's that person's name and where?
So those are
where do
social
they
service.
work?
Those are social service
Who is
departments. Who? Like an individual?
Yes. Who's in charge of it? Who's in charge?
Oh,
of
who's in charge?
These eaters and freaks here. Who's in charge?
So that would fall back on. So that goes to the Department of Social Services, which is run by the state, which also handles federal monies. But so the state.
Albany
So Albany handles
dispatches
it.
the freaks and eaters here.
Right, which is all those programs are put in place by politicians who are who are elected by the people. And so what happens is but most people, the people that are calling and complaining, like, I pay my taxes. Like, can't you do something about all the starving children out there? And they do, and that's what they do, and that's how these programs get started. Because they're like, because you've got people that are hardworking, and they're like, you know what, I really, you know what I mean? They want to take that extra step, and I think that's where the disconnect is. Like, where they used to like volunteer at a soup kitchen or like, you know, deliver turkeys through their church on Thanksgiving. Now they just go, no, I pay my taxes. Like, I don't have time for that, but I don't want people to starve to death. I want to be a good person. And so they tell their politician, and the politician uses tax dollars to do it. And then all of a sudden, then you have this like cancer of like a mindset going through. And people are like, the government's just going to give me turkeys? Like, you know, not everybody got a turkey when the churches were handing them out.
Right.
You know, but then there was other nice families that said, sorry, you didn't get a turkey, but hey, we'll take you in for things. You know what I mean? Like, you built camaraderie, and you lost that by having the government touch its hands in it.
Yeah.
But it was all because there was a lot of taxpayers out there like, I want to be a good person. I don't want people starving to death on the streets. But at the same time, things are getting out of hand because we're letting the government handle our sympathetic bone.
As you know, as a politician, the government can't do anything well. It does nothing well.
No,
it does nothing efficiently.
It doesn't even police its people well. It's just it's a power grab.
They're fleecing the system, you know, and laughing, especially around here, especially in this state. The
only politicians that are actually trying their hardest to do something
is none.
What?
None.
No, guys like me, the local guy. But we can't do anything. We're trying our hardest to make change, but all the change is coming from, like, you know, the powers that be, these magistrates that are sending down laws and stuff that our hands are tied to. So you know what I mean? Like, so we're like, you know, our local economy needs this. We can fix that with this. Like, we can't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
and not everything can be fixed. There's a lot of things. It's like people keep bitching about the goddamn stray cats.
Well, you know,
what are you gonna do about the stray cats? Like, I don't know. Let them starve to death. Well, all the people can't feed. But then, so there's that mentality. So you got all these people that are like, well, you can't let the cats starve to death, so they feed the cats. Well, then all of a sudden the cats start breeding in neighbors' garages, and then they're like, well, it's not my cat, so I'm not going to pay for a medical bill on it.
Right.
But then, so there's the argument, like, why should my tax dollars increase to pay for the medical bill on that person? But it's the stray cat situation. Mm-hmm. They're breeding, and then, like, the more cats, oh shit, now I got to buy more cat food because there's more stray cats out here. So then they buy more cat food, and it harbors a bigger colony. And then you got cat shit all over the neighborhood. And then other neighbors are complaining, and they're getting, like you and I, they're getting so fed up that there's so many.
Yeah.
That it's just like, all right, well, now we need to start eradicating. Like, you start to get that thought. Where if you just had, like, 2 stray cats, like, just leave it alone. But you got to correct the problem before it gets to that hand, which is stop the people from feeding them.
Right.
Because now you have 100 cats that are going to starve to death when that lady stops feeding them. Before, you had 1 cat. And there's enough mice in that neighborhood and birds and shit that 1 cat could have probably survived. Maybe 2. But now you've got 100 cats. All the mice and squirrels and birds and other things that could get eaten by cats are now going to be eradicated.
Yeah.
So now you just eliminated a population of other species. And you've got, like, 99 cats going to die.
Yeah, that's what a welly is an invasive species who sucks up the resources, depletes it.
Right.
You know, and then, like, oh, no, where else can we go? Governor.
So, in this situation, feeding the cats and stopping the feeding of the cats solves the problem, right? Like you just stop feeding the cats, you solve the problem.
What would it be? Metaphor? For
they're two parallels.
For Welly, yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, they're two parallels. Yeah. They're two different situations that have become the exact same.
Just as much.
They're the exact same thing. So, like in terms of like where the problem is, like you just got a bunch of cats laying around a neighborhood that aren't catching birds. They're just,
And for those of people that are like really heart sick and want to sympathize with the poor, you have to realize that most of the poor people are a pack of lazy ass thieves. They're drug addicts, chain smokers, alkies. You know what I mean? They're spending your money on their vices. They don't do anything. They don't deserve your sympathy. They, if they want to show some initiative and break out of that lifestyle, certainly we should help them. But these, fourth, fifth generation of wellies, stop sympathizing with them. Stop helping them. They'll let them figure it out.
Yeah, they had. I had a tenant that she had moved here, and she was getting a job, and she needed a leg up, and she used one of these programs. Mm-hmm. And they said, well, I mean, you wouldn't have to get a job, and we could get you a lot more money if you pissed positive for drugs. Like the program was almost incentivizing her.
Yeah,
like if you have another kid,
good job, government. Great program.
I had another tenant, like an inherited tenant, and she actually was telling like we were going through inspecting this building when I bought it, and like she was out back and she lived there, young girl, right, like 23, mm-hmm. and like she's like I worked 3 jobs, and she was because we walked through the building, I walked around the building with code enforcement and stuff like that, because one of the neighbors was complaining about our house having garbage, and I had just bought the building and I had cleaned up the whole place,
right?
And there was like 3 other buildings in the area that had garbage all around them, and I was like, it's not me, man.
Yeah.
And I walked around, but then he's like, they're interviewing the tenants and walking through to make sure that they're not like creating issues for them to like breed rats and stuff. So, which every time I see this code enforcement official, he reminds me of this girl. He's like, hey, you remember that one tenant you had? Whatever happened to her? You know what I mean? And it was she was like, yeah, I worked 3 jobs. I try to pay my rent. I'm trying to work hard, and you know what I mean? And she's 23, so she got work ethic. And at the same time, though, she was like, you know what? But like sometimes life is tough, and somebody told me to check social services out. And she went down there. You know what they told her? They said,
quit your job.
They said if you lost one of your jobs and maybe you got knocked up, probably wouldn't hurt. Like promoting people to get knocked up. Yeah. Like she clearly wasn't ready to have kids. Maybe she's never going to be ready to have kids. But maybe she wants to. The person that gave her that advice draws a government taxpayer-funded paycheck. Right, so, and their job disappears when wellies disappear. Right. Yeah. Right. So in order to keep the clients going, kind of thing. Do we overthrow the government? So we stop creating wellies? Maybe that's where we go. Maybe it isn't the poor people. Maybe it's the government we should get rid of. Right. The cog. I'm saying it right now. Right. Well, like you want to get rid of all the stray cats. Well, what do you have to get rid of? You have to get rid of the little old lady feeding the cats. Right. Same situation. So you cut off the food supply. Yeah. Right. So that's where my goal is. My thought is, like, I've been saying this from the get-go. If you shit can food stamps, for example, like how many families are going to die? Nobody's going to die. Exactly. Nobody's going to die. Because then your churches and your good-hearted people are going to take those people that are very on the fringe, but most people are going to figure it out. Like, holy fuck, I got to get a job. Yes. You know what I mean? There's going to be a couple boneheads that are going to rob a store, but you already have people that are going to rob a store. Right, yeah, people commit crimes all the time now. Yeah, people commit crimes all the time because some people are so frustrated that the fact that they have to fill out a form to get free food. Well, yeah, God forbid. Yeah. Yeah, so they're like, well, I can't handle that. Well, so now you've got a couple other people that they can't just fill out a form to get food. They have to figure it out. You know what I mean? You might have a couple extra people doing that. You might have one family out of like 1 million people that would starve to death. Right. But I highly doubt that anybody would starve to death. Yeah, that's but you cut it off. I'm fine with. So now the cat population, in the cat scenario, the cats actually would probably starve to death. Right. Humans, this is a human society, right? Like they're not gonna starve to death. Yeah. Like it's not that ruthless. We're not a bunch of animals. You know what I mean? It's somebody would step up. Yeah, somebody would step up and help them. I guarantee it. Yeah. But what you can't keep doing is fleecing the people that produce for the system, because they're gonna stop. Because they're gonna move. We're tired of it. The people that don't have the people that are actually going to be willing to help out somebody who's down on their luck is way more likely to pull that at the soonest sign of that person taking advantage. Right. Sure.
Yeah.
So if all of a sudden, like, you could be taking advantage on food stamps and no one's going to say boo to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could just be sitting there just collecting and just being like, yeah, screw it. I don't have to find a job, blah, blah, blah. So somebody gives you $100 and then you're like, oh, man, I really appreciate it. And then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, well, Jeff and Sue give me $100 so I don't have to find a job. Like, as soon as they hear you say that or see that you're not finding a job,
$100 you get.
Boom, there you go. See, sorry, man, you just lost your gravy train, Holmes.
Yep.
And that's,
exactly.
I never thought about the cat situation with that before, but I think that's because that's my everyone's like, well, you got to spay and neuter all these cats, and it's the humane thing to do. You know how many taxpayer dollars now we're going to be giving to stray cats for medical care? Like adding. Okay, so now we've got somebody who's feeding them.
Wait, let me stop.
Sure.
So you're going to allocate people's tax dollars for cats. It's bad enough we're on the hook for all these wellies.
I'm not. Well,
somebody should stop it.
I'm fighting it tooth and nail. And so here's the problem: is non-for-profits are going to jump in, and you know where non-for-profits get all their funding from, right?
No.
They write grants. They write an application.
Which a grant is it implies free money, but it's not free money. Somebody had to fund that. Taxpayer, right?
There's two different lines of grants, but most of your grants are coming from the government. Right.
So
they're doing.
It doesn't come from the government. The government doesn't have any money.
Right. So it comes from the taxpayer. Yeah. The government collects money from the taxpayers and then creates these grant initiatives.
Robs us. Of taxes. You steal it, and then you distribute it.
Right. To people with their own private agendas.
Right.
Right. You could have like let's say
taxation is theft.
Let's say King Andrew, our governor, decides to has a personal agenda. Right. Mm-hmm. So here's one. Yeah. So
let's pretend he has a personal agenda.
Let's pretend, right? So he has
not a stretch.
He takes a personal agenda, and he starts he has somebody start an not-for-profit for him,
right.
And then that person applies for a grant to get funded for this not-for-profit, and who's likely to pick that person? You know what I mean? Who picks who gets the award for the grant? Governor's office,
right?
Or most likely, unless it's run by a different agency, but all of those agencies are run by the governor's office. So then all of a sudden you get funded, and then there you go. So now your private agenda. You could be like, we spay and neuter cats. So now you're taking taxpayer dollars, funneling into a non-for-profit that's doing an agenda that the government can say, well, no, see, or they could apply being a religious organization. And like separation of church and state. Now there's the separation because they're funding it, but it's not. See what I mean?
That's all nonsense. I say burn it down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
totally agree.
Yeah. I mean, what's the best course of action? Just run up in the governor's mansion, or just start in your own local city halls? Gather up get the pitchforks, the torches.
I don't
guillotines. You know what I mean? And just run up in your local city hall.
Yeah.
Or do we just start right with the governor's mansion and just go get them?
I don't think our society's ready for a revolution yet.
You don't?
It's getting close. It's getting close. Like guys like you and me are like, you know what? Like, hey, fuck it, man. The system's that far gone.
It's time.
But they've got enough soldiers on the other side that it's.
Yeah, you have a bunch of millennial soldiers, all right? That are, they're
the government is great.
Yeah,
it's Animal Farm. It's an Animal Farm on the other side.
Not scared.
Yeah.
So, I mean, would you rather live like this, or I'd rather go down and
Me and Miley watched Braveheart 2 days ago.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
Exactly. Would you rather die many years in your bed, or trade all the days from now till then, knowing that you fought and died for your freedom?
Right. Absolutely. You can giggle about it all you want.
Yeah,
but it's coming.
Yeah. Oh no, it's coming. I get that it's coming. Like something's gonna break.
Oh yeah. Yep. I believe that. And I'm as checked out as anyone. I get a small dose of the world whenever I slink outside or happen to catch a little bit of news.
Yeah.
Or whatever, catch up with you. But I mean, like it's palpable. You can feel it. You know what I mean? It's finally going to happen. It's finally. Get a correction, the correction it needs. We've been circling the drain since the '60s. So I don't think America really. Somebody posed the point that America didn't survive the '60s, and we've been in just kind of rotting since. I've maintained that we mistake progress for decay.
Yeah.
And it's not. We're decaying. We're not progressing. We're decaying. You know. We value the worst sort of people and demonize the people that are paying for everything. You know, that actually, you know, innovate and work hard and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like that everywhere. You know, if you're a black person, you're an Uncle Tom, or a sellout, or a bootlicker, or some bullshit like that, because you take some pride in yourself. You know what I mean? And want to produce and want to have a good life or an education. You know what I mean? It's always you're some sort of a sellout or something like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like a work ethic is demonized anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's completely absurd. You know, it's absurd. Our value system has just been destroyed. You know.
Yeah.
But it, you know, it just seems like it's, you know, it's not going to correct itself. That's certainly not through talking or voting. You know, the time for talking and voting is over. You know, it's long past. That's one man's opinion.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't think I'm going to spark a revolution this morning. But.
Do it myself. You know?
Right. So it's me and Miley got to go get Quinn and drop the two of them off at school. So
school, is it? I think Christmas vacation.
No, it starts next week.
Next week.
No.
Kids, I don't teach my kids to be layabouts. They go to school, son.
Right. Go all year round.
That's right. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching the podcast, and we will see you guys later this afternoon, and then Tuesday morning, and then check out the 360 videos on our Facebook. They should be on YouTube. They should be coming up later, as well as Kevin's doing his apartment renderings in 360. So
nice.
it'll look sweet once they. Yeah, and I stop having to show apartments. I have to drive all over creation and show apartments like 6 times a week. It's like I show the same apartment 6 times. It's like somebody just go online and watch a video.
Yeah.
Wow, this is a really cool place.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Gotta love technology.
Yep.
Hashtag 360 Rise, local company. Great folks. So, all right, guys, we'll see you later.